The Canadian government has made many promises to reduce greenhouse gas emissions all across the economy, but Canada's forestry industry has managed to slip under the radar, boldly claiming that they have the most green forestry operations in the world and that their actions are climate neutral. Unfortunately, though, the only reason they're able to make this claim is due to some pretty sneaky accounting. See, forests naturally sequester and store carbon as they grow, most of which is in the soil, and old-growth forests like this one here store significantly larger quantities than young replanted forests do, and the diversity of different species in the understory makes them more resilient to climate-driven impacts like floods, droughts, and wildfire. The forest industry in Canada cuts down about 9 hockey rinks worth of forest every minute, much of which is still in this irreplaceable old-growth or primary, never-before-logged forest. At the same time, they get credited by the federal government for the carbon absorbed by primary or old-growth forests that they don't cut down, even though that carbon absorption would happen naturally without their involvement at all. Meanwhile, the carbon emitted from wildfires is not counted, despite many of them being a result of forest mismanagement, because those fires are deemed as natural and not humanly caused. It's your standard double standard where industry gets credit for something good that they don't do, while the negative impacts of their actions are ignored, resulting in the false portrayal of clear-cut logging as a green climate solution. Research shows that this bad carbon math is hiding more than 70 megatons of logging emissions per year, or as much as the emissions from the entire province of Quebec. Despite the Auditor General's office calling out the government on their failure to fully count logging emissions, nothing is changing and we don't have any longer to wait. So check out the link in our bio to tell the Canadian government that it's time for them to acknowledge the climate impact of the logging industry and put policies in place to protect forests like Indigenous protected and conserved areas, and transition the industry to a truly sustainable forest practices that continue to benefit our communities and our future.